when you're following it, don't hit the navigate button because it drains your phone's battery really, really quickly. So just as long as you have the blue dot, and today when we do our first hike, we can show you a little bit in better detail how to use it, but essentially that is it. Any questions about the app so far? Fairly self-explanatory. Amazing. I'll just double check that I haven't forgotten anything. Yeah, it's really sweet because you can check the elevation profiles, you can check the mileage, you can actually track it as well. So really, really handy. Okay, cool. Next, well done. Like we said, you've made it. I'm going to give you out in just a second some little welcome packs which have your email addresses on. It also has our emergency telephone numbers. So really, really important. Take a picture of that, put it in your wallet, put it in your phone, put it somewhere that won't get lost, and save our contacts in your phone. One thing I will mention, like I said, we're kind of going off grid at times. Naturally, phones don't work all the time. The wonderful thing about this trip, however, is we have signposts pretty much all the time during the hikes. We also have local guides coming with us tomorrow, and then also day 3 for the more kind of technical and challenging hikes. We just like to have a local mountain guide who knows the area and also knows a bit about mountain safety and things like that. Okay, Vero and I are also quite familiar with it too, but it's always nice to have a local. And the other thing is, they know the plants and the fauna and the area so well. So, you know, if you see a flower or a plant and you're so intrigued by it and ask, you know, they'll have it like that. So please do utilize them. They're a brilliant kind of resource for the next few days whilst we have them. So definitely something to think about. Cool. So yeah, we are on a group trip. I know a lot of you have traveled. Hands up if this is your first backroads trip. Yeah, welcome to the party, team. Welcome. So the rest of you know the gig, you know how it goes. We are on a group trip, so our priority as guides and leaders is to the whole group. However, if you have any personal needs or if you feel like something isn't quite up to your liking, please do come and communicate it to us, because the last thing we want is at the end of the week we kind of look at the reviews and feedback, and then we noticed that perhaps you didn't like this but you never told us. So please, if there's anything the matter, do come and chat to us and we'll do our best to fix it. We're really hard workers, but we're not mind readers. Okay, so if you have something on your mind, please come up and talk to us. We are very much open, we're very honest, so we have an open kind of communication with you, and we hope you feel comfortable coming up and chit-chatting to us. All good so far? Yeah, sweet. Like I said, the group comes first, so if at times perhaps you want to hike on your own and do a long option, but perhaps Vero and I and the rest of the group, 14, maybe one person wants to do that hike, we'll say, hey, you comfortable with the app? We'll give you directions and we might send you off on your own, okay? Just so everyone's aware, we'll try and obviously be flexible, but sometimes the need of the group is greater than the individual. Is that all good? Sweet. Soft times versus hard times. Some leaders like to say it's Italian versus Swiss times. I think that's pretty harsh to the Italian, but it's also quite true. So anyway, basically, for example, soft times is like a breakfast time. You don't have to be at breakfast at 7 a.m. It's from 7 to 10, for example. But when we say we're going to be taking a shuttle at 9 o'clock, that's a hard time. Usually you can tell by our face. We'll be like, hey, breakfast is from us, like, the shuttle's at 9. And we'll just leave it like that. So you'll see, like, I've got angry eyes sometimes, so you're going to get familiar when it's a hard or a soft time. Vero as well, she's also, you can tell. So if you're ever unsure, just be like, hey, was that a soft or a hard time, okay? And then hopefully you'll be able to figure it out. Cool. Just another thing about soft and hard times, we are on a group trip, so please do be punctual when it is a hard time, because we want to respect the whole group and keep the ball rolling and things like that. So please do be punctual, because it's respecting the rest of the group, and so everyone can enjoy the holiday to their maximum. Luggage and move days. So we're going to be staying in 3 refugios. Refugios are like the mountain lodges. We're going to be staying in 3 in total. The first one, Pedaru, we're going to be staying for 2 nights. The second one is, I just every time I say it, I laugh. Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably all saw that. So that's 2 nights as well. And then the final hut is called Pradat, and then we're just staying there for 1 night. So it's quite nicely balanced out, so you can kind of let your suitcases explode for the next 2 locations. One thing to mention about the huts is that inside the huts, a lot of them don't allow us to actually wear our shoes inside. It's just a hygiene thing. So they'll give you like little slippers, and it's great. It's like you're rocking around your front room. You just chill, you're in your normal clothes, but you've got your slippers on. So they'll actually ask you to put them in the boot room when we arrive. They also have a dry room, so if any things get wet, we can hang them up, and they pop basically like a heater on throughout the day, so it's really, really sweet. Something for you all to think about, because we are probably going to get rained on every single day. Okay? A little bit of rain never hurt anyone. A lot of rain, well, anyway, will be grand. In regards to the huts, for those of you that have been on backroads trips before, maybe you've been on some of the premier, maybe you've been on some of the casual trips, this is a hut to hut, so it's completely different to perhaps trips that you might have done in the past, in the sense that these are the most amazing huts that we can find within the area. And the huts are pretty rustic. Some of them don't have Wi-Fi, some of the Wi-Fi isn't great. What we kind of really want to say to you is like, embrace it, because you're in some of the most stunning locations in the Dolomites, and the best way to experience the Dolomites is in nature. For example, here in Pedoru, there's a little stream not 10 meters from the accommodation, and basically what I suggest after every single hike in the next couple of days, just take your shoes off, give yourself a little ice bath for your feet. It's the most wonderful thing, and these little moments in nature that you can embrace. If it's a clear sky tonight, go outside. You don't need Wi-Fi, look at the stars. When I was in Africa, our 2 guides said, come watch African TV with me. And I was like, what do you mean? We sat and just watched the fire for hours and just chatted. It's a beautiful thing. We can play cards, we can play some music. Honestly, this is the time to kind of switch off from back home and just slip into a really, really lovely week. Even if it's raining outside, the huts are cozy, you know, we'll get warm, get your slippers on, whatever you fancy. It's completely up to you, okay? So I just wanted to kind of paint a little picture about the huts. Is that all good? Yeah?